Hello, future biologists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of living organisms. Today, we are diving deep into the five kingdom classification and focusing on one of its most fascinating realms, Kingdom Animalia. We'll explore what makes animals unique, from the simplest to the most complex, and understand how they're classified. Get ready for a four-level adventure, from easy fundamentals to competitive insights. Let's kick things off with the basics. What exactly defines an animal? It's simpler than you might think. So, what makes an animal an animal? First, they're multicellular, meaning they're made of many cells, not just one. These cells are eukaryotic, possessing a true nucleus and other special compartments. Animals are also heterotrophic. They can't make their own food and must consume other organisms. A key distinction is that animal cells lack a rigid cell wall, unlike plants and fungi. Most animals also exhibit motility, meaning they can move around. Finally, animals show complex organization, with cells forming tissues, tissues forming organs, and organs forming organ systems. The animal kingdom is incredibly diverse. We broadly categorize them into invertebrates, which are animals without a backbone, like worms and insects, and vertebrates, which have a backbone, such as fish, birds, and mammals. Animals primarily reproduce sexually, involving the fusion of specialized reproductive cells. They also undergo growth and development, transforming from an embryo into a mature adult. Think of your pet dog. It eats, moves, grows, and has complex systems, perfectly illustrating an animal. Time to check your understanding of the easy concepts. Pause the video, try to answer these three questions, and see how well you grasp the fundamental characteristics of Kingdom Animalia. Good luck! Ready to delve a little deeper? Now we'll explore the fascinating ways animal bodies are structured and organized. Animals show a remarkable progression in their body organization. We start with the cellular level, where cells are loosely arranged, like in sponges. Next is the tissue level, where groups of cells work together, as seen in jellyfish. More complex animals reach the organ level, where tissues form distinct organs, like in flatworms. Finally, the most advanced animals exhibit the organ system level, where organs cooperate in systems, such as in humans or insects. This progression reflects increasing complexity and specialization. We also observe different types of body symmetry, asymmetry, meaning no regular shape, like some sponges, and radial symmetry, where body parts are arranged around a central point, like a starfish. Continuing our exploration of body plans, bilateral symmetry is a major evolutionary step, allowing an animal to be divided into two mirror image housed along only one plane. This often leads to a distinct head region. Embryonically, animals form germ layers. Diploblastic animals have two layers, ectoderm and endoderm, like jellyfish, while triploblastic animals have three layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, leading to more complex organ development. Another crucial feature is the column, or body cavity. Acoelomates have no body cavity, like flatworms. Pseudocoelomates have a false column not fully lined by mesoderm, seen in roundworms. Most advanced animals are eucoelomates, possessing a true column completely lined by mesoderm. Let's focus on the column, or body cavity. It's a fluid-filled space between the gut and the outer body wall, entirely lined by a mesodermal tissue. This true column serves several important functions. It provides space for organs to grow and develop, acts as a hydrostatic skeleton in some animals, and protects internal organs from external shocks. Animals are categorized based on its presence. Acoelomates lack this cavity, pseudocoelomates have a body cavity that isn't fully mesoderm-lined, and eucoelomates possess a complete, true column. The evolution of a true column was a significant advancement, enabling larger body sizes, more efficient organ systems, and greater flexibility in movement. Now, test your understanding of these medium-level concepts. Take your time to answer these 5 questions, recalling the different levels of organization, types of symmetry, germ layers, and the importance of the column. Pause the video and challenge yourself. Ready for a deeper dive? Let's analyze the intricate details that form the basis of animal classification and explore the vast diversity of phyla. Animal classification isn't arbitrary, it's based on fundamental characteristics. We consider the cellular arrangement, from simple cell aggregates to complex organ systems. Body symmetry, asymmetrical, radial, or bilateral, dictates how an animal interacts with its environment. The number of germ layers, whether 2 or 3, determines developmental complexity. The nature of the column, aquilomate, pseudocoelomate, or eucoelomate, influences internal organ arrangement and body support. Segmentation, or the repetition of body units, is a key feature in some groups, allowing for specialized functions. Finally, the presence of a notochord is a defining trait for chordates, indicating internal skeletal support. Let's quickly survey some major invertebrate phyla. Porifera, the sponges, are the simplest, with cellular organization and asymmetry. Cnidaria, like jellyfish, are tissue-level, radially symmetrical, and diploblastic, known for their stinging cells. Platyhelminths, or flatworms, are organ-level, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and aquilomate. Aschelminths, the roundworms, are organ system level, bilateral, triploblastic, and pseudocoelomate. Annelida, segmented worms, are eucoelomate with true segmentation. And Arthropoda, the largest phylum, features jointed appendages and an exoskeleton. These examples highlight the incredible range of body plans and adaptations within invertebrates. Moving to more advanced phyla, mollusca, including snails and octopuses, are soft-bodied, often with shells, and are eucoelomate. Echinodermata, like starfish, show radial symmetry as adults and possess a unique water vascular system. Finally, Chordata, our own phylum, is defined by 4 key characteristics: a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits, and a postanal tail present at some stage of life. The subphylum Vertebrata within Chordata replaces the notochord with a vertebral column. This evolutionary journey showcases a clear trend from simpler to highly organized forms, each playing vital ecological roles, from primary consumers to apex predators, shaping their environments. It's time for some analytical thinking. These 7 questions require you to compare, contrast, and explain various aspects of animal classification and diversity. Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers, demonstrating your understanding of the hard-level concepts. Pause the video and give it your best shot. Are you ready to truly master Kingdom Animalia? This hardest level will challenge your understanding with competitive depth concepts, exploring the cutting edge of biological classification and evolutionary insights. Modern animal classification relies heavily on a phylogenetic approach, grouping organisms based on their shared evolutionary history and genetic relationships rather than just superficial similarities. Cladistics, a key method, identifies monophyletic groups, a common ancestor, and all its descendants using shared derived characteristics. This has been revolutionized by molecular phylogenetics, which analyzes DNA and protein sequences to construct more accurate evolutionary trees, often clarifying relationships that morphological data alone couldn't resolve. A crucial distinction here is between homology, structures with a common evolutionary origin, and analogy, structures with similar functions but different origins, which can be misleading in classification. However, challenges like convergent evolution and character reversals still require careful analysis to ensure robust phylogenetic trees. A fundamental division in the bilateral animals is between protostomes and deuterostomes, based on key differences in their early embryonic development. In protostomes, which include annelids, arthropods, and mollusks, the blastopore, the first opening in the embryo, develops into the mouth. They typically exhibit spiral and determinate cleavage, meaning the developmental fate of embryonic cells is fixed very early. Column formation in protostomes is schizocoelous, where the column arises from the splitting of mesodermal blocks. In contrast, deuterostomes, such as echinoderms and chordates, are second-mouth animals. Their blastopore becomes the anus and the mouth forms later. They show radial and indeterminate cleavage, meaning early embryonic cells can still develop into a complete organism if separated, offering greater developmental plasticity. Their column forms by enterocoli, budding off from the embryonic gut. The concept of metameric segmentation, the repetition of body units along the length of an animal, is a fascinating aspect of animal body plan engineering. Found in annelids, arthropods, and chordates, segmentation offers significant advantages like specialized functions in different segments, increased flexibility, and redundancy for vital structures. Interestingly, this segmentation evolved independently in these different lineages. At a deeper level, the development of these body plans is controlled by highly conserved Hox genes or homobox genes. These regulatory genes dictate the anterior-posterior patterning of the embryo, essentially telling each segment what structures to form. Duplications and modifications of these Hox genes are thought to be critical drivers in the evolution of diverse and complex animal body plans, highlighting the genetic basis of morphological evolution. Animals are not just isolated entities, they are integral to ecosystems, playing diverse ecological roles. Through niche specialization, animals evolve unique adaptations to thrive in specific environmental conditions and utilize particular resources, thus minimizing competition. Their feeding strategies range from herbivory to carnivory, omnivory, detritivory, and filter feeding, each requiring specialized morphological and physiological adaptations. Locomotion adaptations allow animals to move efficiently in their respective environments, whether it's flying, swimming, running, or burrowing. Reproductive strategies vary widely, balancing the number of offspring with parental investment. Furthermore, complex behavioral ecology, including social structures, migration, and communication, enhances survival. Some animals are even ecosystem engineers, actively modifying their habitats, like beavers building dams or earthworms aerating soil, profoundly impacting other species and the ecosystem's overall structure. Now, let's tackle the first 5 competitive-level questions. These require a deep understanding of developmental biology, evolutionary principles, and the genetic underpinnings of animal diversity. Take your time to construct well-reasoned and detailed answers. Pause the video and push your biological thinking to the limit. Here are the remaining 5 challenging questions to complete your journey through Kingdom Animalia. Think critically about phylogenetic analysis, adaptive strategies, and the broader ecological impact of animals. These questions are designed to prepare you for advanced biological studies. Good luck! And that concludes our comprehensive exploration of Kingdom Animalia. We've journeyed from basic definitions to advanced evolutionary concepts. I hope you found this deep dive both informative and inspiring. For more such engaging and in-depth educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting biology lessons. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.